Hey everybody, it's Chris. If you're a sports fan like me, or you're just a fan of a great story, you gotta check out Press Box Access, a sports history podcast hosted by Todd Jones. Todd sits down with fellow sports writers who experienced firsthand some of the biggest sports moments of the past 50 years, and they share some of the stories behind the stories, some of which they've only told to each other. What I personally love are the wild stories that you might not hear so much about on SportsCenter over the years. Like when Indiana-based sports journalist Bob Kravitz recounts the time Bobby Knight showed up naked to an office meeting with him and then banned him from the Hoosiers locker room for the next 3 years because Bob wrote a story he didn't like. Or when Alexander Wolf tells the story about going out on the town in Chicago with Dennis Rodman and Carmen Electra in the middle of a Bulls playoff series. Or when Dan Wetzel talks about what it was like to be in the media room when Temple basketball coach John Chaney stormed into UMass coach John Calipari's press conference after a game and threatened to kill him. These wild and fun stories, paired with stories about real sports greatness, you know, like the 1970s Steelers being the greatest NFL dynasty ever, or the legendary rivalry between Larry Bird and Magic Johnson, and even the impact of protests for social justice issues in sports, make Pressbox Access a show you should check out. Pressbox Access is part of the Evergreen Podcast family, and it's available all the places you get your pods, and you can also find Pressbox Access on YouTube. Go check it out.
Every day, we rise, challenging ourselves to work for what we believe in. At U.S. Border Patrol, protecting our borders is more than a job. It's a calling. Agents answer the call, working together to keep our country and communities safe. If you're ready for a new mission, join U.S. Border Patrol and go beyond. Learn more at cbp.gov/careers.
Chris, we are going to do something exciting every Friday on the feed for the month of March. We are doing a singles from 1994 March Madness draft.
Oh, boy.
So how this is going to work is that each Monday there will be a SurveyMonkey link dropped in our Facebook page and on our Instagram, and you'll have until that Thursday afternoon to get your votes in. I'll tally all the votes on Thursday, and then on Fridays, Chris and I will record a quick update on where the current standings are on this March Madness bracket. So the way that this worked, we're doing a 32-song draft. I pulled up 46 songs that were hit singles released in the year 1994. Sent it to Chris. Chris narrowed it down to the 32, and I tried my best to put them in specific category brackets. We had a little bit more rock music than certain other categories, so it got a little bit messy in a few of them, but that's fine. We'll still survive this. Just understand that they're not perfect here. So the first quadrant we're going with is 1994 rock music.
Okay.
All right? So our first matchup, by the way, the matchups were just a random number generator once I figured out these brackets.
Okay.
So our first matchup, two heavy hitters, Chris. We've got Nine Inch Nails Closer versus Green Day Basket Case.
Oh, my God. That could have been the finals.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Who do I think's going to win? Is that the question?
I think it might go to Green Day, but I think it's going to be a close fight. I think this is going to be a tight anybody's game here.
Yeah, I think our audience is going to vote for Green Day. But
okay,
I wouldn't even, that'd be so hard for me. I would probably lean Closer, but yeah, I think our audience is going to vote for Green Day.
Our next matchup in that category is Offspring Self-Esteem versus Nirvana's About a Girl Unplugged performance.
Oh, that's another one. Like if it was any other Nirvana song, I could see Nirvana just easily taking this, but I could maybe see our audience leaning Offspring on this. I hope I'm wrong. I
kind of want About a Girl to win this one.
Me too.
But I wouldn't be mad. I mean, I really do like the song Self-Esteem by The Offspring. It's a good song. But I think About a Girl, especially that unplugged version of About a Girl, is just perfect.
Yeah.
It's not as good as the Puddle of Mud cover of it, obviously. But
yeah, that was good.
all right, so here's a matchup where I know what I think will win, and it doesn't necessarily match what I think should win. We got Soundgarden Black Hole Sun versus the Cranberries Zombie.
Black Hole Sun's going to win.
I know, but it shouldn't.
Yeah.
It's-
I just know. I just know.
And here's another one where I kind of know what's going to win, but I think that people should. I'm not going to tell anyone how to vote, but really re-listen to both of these songs and give the other one a fighting chance. Here is Weezer, Buddy Holly versus Stone Temple Pilots' Interstate Love Song.
That's actually a really hard one.
Yeah,
I think that our audience is going to lean Weezer, but Interstate Love Song is such a good song.
it's a really good song.
oh,
It's a really, really good song. So again, as we move to the second quadrant, I must repeat that we had a little bit more rock songs, so they had to kind of find their way into other songs.
Okay.
So we're going to tentatively call this rap and other options.
okay.
So the first matchup is the Beastie Boys Sabotage versus Wu-Tang Clan Cream.
I kind of hope Sabotage wins here. Just Cream isn't my favorite Wu-Tang song.
No,
And Sabotage
no,
is like a classic.
Yes. Okay, so here's oh man, I didn't even realize this happened until right now. This is Cousin versus Cousin.
Oh, wow.
Snoop Doggy Dogg, Gin and Juice versus Warren G and Nate Dogg's Regulate.
Ooh.
In my heart of hearts, it should be Regulate.
Yeah, it should
that
be
is.
Regulate's the better song.
Now here's where it gets a little weird. Notorious B.I.G.'s Juicy
Ooh.
is up against that beloved rap song Oasis Live Forever.
Just please vote Juicy here. I mean, the Oasis song's okay, but Juicy's one of the best rap songs ever.
Exactly. And then the next one, this one at least is more rapish than Oasis. And I actually kind of want the alternative song to win this one. Coolio, Fantastic Voyage versus Beck Loser.
Yeah, I mean, I obviously like Beck Loser way better. I think maybe Beck Loser has stood the test of time a little better.
Yeah, I agree. Now, the next category that we're entering into for the third quadrant is I'm calling songs from albums released in 1993. So the way that we did this was based on when the single was released. So
Okay.
a lot of the songs from 1994 single-wise were from albums from the previous year. So quadrant number 1, we've got Veruca Salt, Seether versus Counting Crows, Mr. Jones.
Oh, please, Mr. Jones. You got to go Mr. Jones, everybody.
Here's one that I think could have been a finals round matchup
Oh, boy.
that we're getting very early on. But Lisa Loeb's Stay, I Miss You versus Mazzy Star, Fade Into You.
Oh. That's a really hard one.
That's anyone's game right there. I might lean. I know that we've sung a lot of praise on Mazzy Star, but I think I'm leaning Lisa Loeb on this one.
Oh.
That song that I turned the radio on, I turned the radio up, and this woman was singing my song. Like
Yeah.
that song, I can sing that song from the first line to the last line, like nonstop. It's so good.
I could see our listeners leaning Lisa Loeb.
I think so too. All right, next matchup, we got the Crash Test Dummies versus Sheryl Crow's All I Want to Do.
Well, I hope it goes to Crash Test Dummies. I said it before. I'll say it again. That's my girlfriend Marquitte's birthday song. Where when you bring the cake out, do you know about this? Have I talked to you about this before?
No.
This was even before we were dating. This is something that happened. But then we had a birthday party for her. Brought the cake out, and everyone sings Marquette, which is so much better than Happy Birthday.
That's it. I'm setting my calendar next year. I'm coming to Marquitte's birthday party just to be a part of that.
Yeah.
And then the final matchup. Here's another one where I think our listeners will do us right on this one. Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, Mary Jane's Last Dance against Collective Soul's Shine.
Oh.
I'm leaning towards Tom Petty on this one. I love that song.
Yeah. But it doesn't have
She
the...
grew up in an Indiana town with a good old mama and never was around.
Yeah.
Also, scary video. Just a scary video.
Yeah, I'd probably lean Tom Petty on that one, but I will say the Tom Petty song doesn't have yeah.
Yeah. All right, and then the last category, again, we had an overflux of rock music here. I'm calling pop plus a rock song.
Okay.
So in the final quadrant of pop versus a rock song, hopefully this goes the way Chris wants it to. It's the battle of one of his favorites versus one of his least favorites.
Whoa.
We have live I Alone
Ooh.
up against Janet Jackson's Anytime, Anyplace.
Oh, I'm so scared. Oh, man. Anytime, Any Place is my favorite Janet Jackson song. Up against I Alone.
Yeah.
Oh,
Fear is not the end of this, Chris.
yeah.
The next matchup, if I could wish for a song to beat another song, I'm putting all of that wish on this one. It's Enigma's Return to Innocence
Oh, yeah.
against Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas Is You.
Geez. Hey, have those two songs ever been matched up against each other in any sort of decision whatsoever?
No,
They're
not a chance, but man, that hey, do it for the pure moods, guys. It doesn't need to move to the round after this, but I really want that to take out All I Want for Christmas Is You. Hopefully we'll have the benefit of it being March and people not being in a mood for the Christmas song to move forward.
Yeah.
The next round is the Pretenders' I'll Stand By You against Ace of Base's The Sign.
I mean, I hope people go Pretenders, actually, because I don't know. The
Yeah.
Sign, I was burnt out on The Sign in the 90s, and I'm still burnt out on The Sign.
Yeah. I mean, but that Pretender song is great.
Yeah.
That is a great ballad. And then we got the matchup, possibly the matchup of this entire quadrant.
Whoa.
And it's the last matchup for this March Madness bonus episode. TLC Creep against Boys to Men, I'll Make Love to You.
It's like not my favorite song from either artist.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I would rather it be Waterfalls than Creep, but I think Waterfalls was a 1995 later in that album cycle release.
Yeah.
So next year's March Madness, Waterfalls will be in contention for sure. But I like Creep, though. That sexy trumpet.
I like Creep. I actually like Red Light Special the most by them.
I know you do. You fucking love Red Light Special.
Yeah, it's a
you
sexy
bring it up
song.
anytime TLC comes up.
Sexy song. And I like Unpretty by them too. I think that's one
Dude,
of the best songs.
Unpretty, underrated song. That song is great.
Yeah, really good song. I
well,
hope
guys-
people go Boys to Men on this one.
All right. Well, we're going to put up it's going to be a Survey Monkey link. Click it, make some votes, make some things happen. And Chris, I want to pitch this to you because obviously when we record this next episode, it's going to be in the middle of this Punchline tour. I could bring the Zoom to the show on Thursday and we could get some color commentary from other members of the band.
Sure.
Giving in their 2 cents. Almost, like we're doing an actual sports thing where it's like, let's bring in some of the experts. What do you guys think about this most recent matchup?
Sure. I think that's a great idea. And Matt, also, I would suggest maybe some of our listeners don't have Facebook or Instagram or whatever. Can you put the Survey Monkey link in the show notes as well?
I could probably make that happen. In fact, that is what I'm going to do. That's a good call. In the show notes will also be the Survey Monkey link. And Chris, since I mentioned it, and this episode's coming out this Friday or Saturday, if people wanted to check out Punchline and they happen to live, on the East Coast, maybe specifically in the New York, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, or Maryland area, where can they go to see those show dates and get some tickets?
Yeah. If you live in New York City, New Jersey, Baltimore, or around Pittsburgh, we're playing at the Gramercy in New York on Wednesday, what day is that? March 6th, 2024. We're playing in Asbury, New Jersey at Asbury Lanes on 3/7 Punchline Day, 3/7 of 2024. That's Thursday. We're playing at Asbury Lanes. Then on Friday, March 8th, 2024, we are playing at the Wrecker Theater in Towson, Maryland. And then on Saturday, March 9th, 2024, we are playing at Preserving Underground in New Kensington, Pennsylvania, which is a suburb of Pittsburgh, probably less than half an hour from Pittsburgh.
Nice. And where can people get tickets if they're interested in any of those shows? The venues, or is there a website?
You can go to punchlion.com and go to shows, and there's ticket links in there.
Perfect. All right. Well, guys, we'll be back on Wednesday with a normal... actually, I'm very excited for this Wednesday's episode. We won't give you too much of a hint. Actually, we're going to give you a very big hint. Let's just say you should watch The Greatest Night in Pop on Netflix before Wednesday's episode. And on Friday, we'll be giving you updates on how the March Madness singles from 1994 bracket is going.
What if you could have a career where the opportunities are as vast as our nation, where it's not about mission statements, but a shared mission? At U.S. Customs and Border Protection, we go beyond to protect more than borders. From ship to shore, air to ground, cities to local communities, CBP agents and officers are keeping people safe. Join U.S. Customs and Border Protection and go beyond for something far greater than yourself. Learn more at cbp.gov/careers.
Hi, this is Paul Phelps.
And this is Monica Strutt.
And we're from the Daily Music Business Podcast. We're joined by a number of other really great hosts in creating daily content with great advice for independent musicians just like you.
That's right. We put out episodes daily on all topics from music marketing to branding, advice on signing with a manager and label, and anything else you need to up-level the business side of your music career. We've got it covered.
Subscribe to the Daily Music Business Podcast today on your favorite podcast catcher.
Subscribe today to the Daily Music Business Podcast on your favorite podcast platform.